If it's not mentioned in the investigation or it's not mentioned in the disciplinary invite, you cannot raise it at disciplinary.
I've seen a few investigation meetings this week. I'm listening to the recording or I'm reading the transcription, and there's a really obvious question in there. And I'm like, why did they not ask that question? And then the managers have come back and said, oh, but they know the answer, or they've assumed the answer is X. And I'm like, I get it. I get that you already know what the answer is, but this is an investigation meeting, and the whole point of it is to get this information on the record so you can use it as part of evidence. I do get that sometimes investigation meetings feel like you're asking stupid questions that you know the answer to, or that you're duplicating kind of questions and going over things again and again. But you need to do that because your job as an investigator is to get all the evidence on record and all the facts on the record. And you can't do that if you're not asking the questions. Teach your managers that when you talk to them about investigation meetings, that it is important that they ask all the questions. The point is to get as much information as possible, factual information, and get it on the record, even if that feels they're asking dumb questions that they should know the answer to already.
What we've also had is we've got them to ask all the questions about the situation. Great, we've got that documented. So we're ready to go ahead and invite them to a disciplinary. And that's when the client says, oh yeah, and I wanted to ask them about that thing that happened 2 weeks ago. Okay, but you haven't mentioned that before now, and that wasn't mentioned in the investigation meeting. I was like, oh, well, it's not a big thing, but I just wanted to mention it. We'll ask them about it in the disciplinary. And it's like, no, you won't. If you haven't mentioned it or shown them the evidence that you want to discuss in the disciplinary, if you haven't shown it in the investigation, you cannot refer to it in the disciplinary. And particularly in this case, I was a bit surprised because it was very clearly gross misconduct because of other things that this person had done. And they didn't mind putting all of that into writing, but they didn't want to say, even though you've admitted to drinking on duty and not paying for it, we don't want to accuse you of theft, even though it clearly is theft and you've admitted to it. And they're like, well, they might get a bit upset about it. I think they're probably going to get upset about all of it, to be honest, because they're about to be dismissed. And it's that avoidance of conflict. It's not conflict as such. We're not having an argument with them. What we're doing is following the ACAS guidelines to give the employee the chance to defend themselves in a fair and reasonable manner. And the only way they can do that is if we put down all the accusations with the evidence we have in the disciplinary invite, we discuss it at investigation, we discuss it at disciplinary, and we make a fair and reasonable decision based on that. If you keep information out or try and keep it secret somehow but still put it into a decision, that is not a fair and reasonable process. And that's why we don't do it, because ACAS will say, well, you didn't share that with them, so how could they defend themselves? Therefore, it's not fair and reasonable. Therefore, the whole process is invalid.
Thanks for watching. If you want a free peace of mind call with us to discuss your policies, handbook, and any burning staff issues in your business, click the link in the description below.